And here we go. Draft number 2. Let's do it. Branch Loft Pathway. This is one of the new dual lands that's just pretty straightforward. We're not going to take it. It's not impactful enough for us, but pretty cool for constructed. Skyclave Plunder. 4 and a blue for... oh yeah, this is the card draw one we were talking about. How good is draw 3 in the format? I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to start here. Rather just start with this familiar. I think this looks pretty cool to build around. Windrider Wizard, though, is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flyer. So we got a Windrake here with some probably upside. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, wizard or wizard spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So Windrake with some looting upside. Seems fine. Is that first pickable? Maybe since it's monocolored, you'd be more inclined to pick that over the familiar, but familiar is doing something that is really intriguing to me. Makes me want to kind of chase that. What else is going on here, though? We got Farsight Adept for 2 and a white for a 3/3. So, we looked at this one before last week. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each draw a card. Fine filler. It's not necessarily, it's slightly better for your opponent because they get access to the drawn card first in most cases. You know, if you tap out to cast this on 3, they're the ones with access to an extra card to work with before you. But not a particularly important card. Now, Swaggy, you're saying, wow, got to take the dual land. Are you talking like why? For limited power? I don't think you got to. I mean, you don't take that for limited power any more than you would for any other limited dual land. It's so I'd rather start with action than a dual land. Let's look at what other action there is. I kind of want to not be green this time though, because we were green last time. One of the best. Well, I got to see what the other white commons are. I mean, this is fine. I don't see why this would be one of the best. I mean, it's pretty glue-like. I mean, it's a wizard and everything. But frankly, if this is one of the best white commons, then white doesn't seem that strong, I got to say. Like, I mean, this is fine. But if this is your best white common, that ain't no feat of resistance right there or anything. Stomper is a bomb. I don't know what stomp. Oh, you. We already have 6 of them in our collection. We don't have to take it. 11 seconds. Colony seems pretty good. Blood Price. Deadly Alliance. Let's take the Deadly Alliance. Maybe let's do it. This is a Deadly Alliance is 4 and a black instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Instant. Simple. In a lot of formats, we would be happy with this at 5 mana, no other rules text besides destroy. The fact that it can be cheaper is interesting. So I think I'll start there. Take the removal, see what we find. Got a Fury here. This is this fling, land fling. I don't know if we want a land fling here. Mind Carver. When Mind Carver enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. It gets +3/+1 instead, as long as opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. So here's that blue-blackish mechanic of Oppo having 8 cards in yard. Is that good enough? Yeah, I kind of just want another Deadly Alliance, I think. I mean... Yeah, this seems okay, but I would rather just take removal, I think. Follow up with another removal spell. Charger, 1/1. If it's equipped, it has haste. Oh, interesting. When it dies, deals damage equals its power to any target. So this is kind of a... what's that goblin? Arsonist. This is an Arsonist, but has a little uncommon upside. Our first pick was a removal spell, so I was going to follow it up with another one. And yeah, it's a party creature as well. So it's got party creature type and some extra upside. This deals damage to oppos, not creatures. Diviner has flying. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, a Rabid Bite jumps out at me as another option. But, I mean, this is removal too. Let's just take the on-color removal. So starting with 2 black removal spells. And I am interested in paying attention to the party creature types, but we're not going to marry that. But reducing the cost of these alliances would be nice. Get some natural rogues in black. I'm sure the question is where we're going to get... I bet black has rogues and clerics. That would be my guess, but is low on warriors and wizards. So especially looking for warriors and wizards because those fill out what black probably doesn't have on its own. Another dual land. This one's the red-blue. Also going to let that go as well. Kite Sail Cleric is a single white for a 1/1 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, tap up to 2 target creatures, and that's 3 extra mana to tap. I don't know about if this had life length, this sort of like a Healer's Hawk with upside, then maybe. I don't know if we like a 1/1. It is a relevant party type though, so it helps your party. And at 1, you can curve out into some party advantages. Here's another Fissure Wizard. Wait, 1 in a red, Goblin Wizard, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard a card if you do draw. So nice that it's not conditional. Just a ETB Rummage. ETB Rummage is fine. Seagate Banneret, a 1-drop warrior, can also help the party types. And we saw this ability actually threaten some activation in like Battle for Zendikar, and was pretty strong to just threaten all of your creatures getting that pump. But I want to see if there's stuff in black. Maybe we can stay on one color here. We got a Mucklord, 2/3 when it dies. Yeah, it's not good enough. Dies for a counter, that's whatever. 1 in a black. This target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Draw a card if that creature has a +1/+1 counter on it. So playing into some +1/+1 counter themes, but not something we want to do here, I don't think. I'd rather take this Subtle Strike. 1 or both. Subtle Strike, these things tend to be pretty tricksy. Sometimes you just get to kill something outright. But then also, and this is a counter, not until end of turn. So I kind of like the toolbox feel of this Subtle Strike. And it leaves us open to figure out where our second color is going to be. Because you can get 2-for-1s out of this. Not every time or anything, but sometimes you're going to get a 2-mana 2-for-1 and it's going to feel busted. Here's this Farsight Adept that some are calling, apparently, the top white common. We'll see. I like it. I'm just saying if it's the top white common, I'm not super thrilled with white. No way to play it, Swaggy. You tell me how to play this deck today and I'll play it. Where can we play? This Ox is not a creature type. What does it do? Landfall. Tap target creature and opponent controls. Let's look at black cards first, see if we can stay on color. There's only 1 here. Marauding Blight Priest for a 2 and a black for a 3/2. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. That's strong on a common. This has been historically like a rare payoff card. But this is a really interesting... Oh, it only loses 1. It doesn't equal the same. Yeah, kind of the rare effect here you would lose life equal to the life gained. In this case, it only loses 1 no matter how much life is gained, which is what makes it a little more common. Yeah, but we could take this and maybe end up in white-black clerics anyway. If we were that, we have a protector here. 2 and a white for a 3/2 human cleric. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Oh yeah, we looked at this one in our last draft. Seemed playable, if not exciting. I think I'd rather just take the Blight Priest in that case. It stays 1 color. We got this relic amulet. What is this? Skyclave pickaxe. A green for... so this cycle of colored artifacts are all self-equipping. Maybe every artifact, every equip we've seen has been self-equipping so far, has it? Maybe this is a self-equipping set. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target control landfall, and it's got the +2/+2, as Hodge points out. That's kind of Green's thing. You want this flyer? You want to take this? This is your pick here. I would rather just take the Blight Priest and stay one color for now. I don't think I see anything else here that makes me want to deviate from our core color. Nothing else seems quite good enough to me. Allied Assault. Well, this can be pretty decent if we're doing the party thing, but I don't know if we are yet. I guess we just, here's an adept that would help us down that path. Dreadworm, I said I liked, but I don't love it. Seagate Banneret. We have another chance at that. What's this one? Canyon Jerboa. 2 and a white for a 1/2. Landfall. Creatures you control all. So this is a go wide landfall. Interesting. I don't think we're here. I'd rather just take the core wizard or see what this practice tactics is. Instant, choose target attacking or blocking creature. It deals damage to that creature equal to twice the number of creatures in your party. So this harkens back to the outflank of Eldraine. 1 mana, count creature to deal with attacking or blocking. And yeah, it's definitely worse, but we're also definitely trying to do the party thing. And if we do the party thing, it could actually end up being better. Because it is doubling it. I mean, twice the number of creatures in your party. So unlike, it's better than outflank if all of your creatures are party based. You're going to do up to 8. But I think we can take the adept over it here. Also haven't looked what Cleric of the Chill Depths, 1/3 little freezer. Yeah, I kind of like looking towards potentially white-black here. I'm going to take the Farsight Adept. We now got a wizard and a cleric in our deck party. I'm liking the party mechanic because it seems there's enough of it that you kind of fall into it a little bit. Soaring Thought Thief says maybe let's pivot towards black-blue. Hey, Cardinator, how you doing? Yeah, Jinx, that's what I like about it, right? You don't force it. You just kind of get some extra party action. And you paid a little bit of, it seems like you pay a little bit of attention to it, and it can be even better. We got a flash 2/1 flyer for 3 in black, and when it enters Oppo Mills, that seems like fine filler, but I like taking the Thought Thief here. Yeah, we can take the land spell, but I'm going to hedge towards a blue-black payoff card here. Queen, you don't need, I don't know what you mean by that, Queen, because boom, if I play Soaring Thought Thief, boom, 1 card, boom, I have a party, Queen. I mean, it's a party of 1, but I do have a count towards party. Now, you may be correct that it's going to be hard to get party 4, but do we need party 4? Like I think you don't. From what I've seen, you don't need to get 4. It's just nice. It's just great. It just makes it even better. But you just need some, and I think some comes kind of naturally. So I'm going to take this Thought Thief, though. Not married, but rogues and mill could help us out in that direction. Let's look at what we've got in terms of the colors we've started on. Feed the Swarm, 1 and a black. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. Yeah, this is costly, but if we're using life as a resource, we can get rid of some pretty darn big things for 2 mana. So I like taking a Feed the Swarm here over a Chilling Trap. Getting all sorts of removal. I don't think that's true, Queen. Yeah, we talked about that last week, Hat. To me, Queen, it looks all sorts of like it looks very much like a lot of, hey, it gets better the more you can get, but no requirements. I mean, again, like Queen, this is the Deadly Alliance is kind of my poster child for what I'm trying to talk about here with what you're worried about. Like, Deadly Alliance at 5 mana is not amazing, but you'd play it. You'd play in a lot of formats 5 mana instant destroy, right? And so I happen to have a Blight Priest out. Boom, this is 4 mana. Wow. I just needed one stupid dude with one stupid creature type on it, and suddenly my Deadly Alliances are getting towards bake into a pie level removal, you know? When you only need one creature to do stuff like that to your commons, I think you're worried too much about getting 3 or 4. I think that'll happen sometimes, but I don't think we need to worry about that. Here's a landfall enabler in Tazim Raptor. It's another May, so it can be just a 2/2 flyer for 3, and you may landfall if you want. And Subtle Strike might be worth picking up a second copy here. We already have 1, and at some point you have too many of them. And we do have a Feed the Swarm and 2 Deadly Alliances, so I don't want to overdo the removal here in pack 1, but I think I do like what Subtle Strike does for us more than Tazim Raptor. And as much as I do like a Dreadworm in the abstract, like I'm happy to run this, they seem very replaceable, like we can get these whenever. So I'm just going to take a Subtle Strike. That's true. Again, ALS pointing out that you can pick up these spell lands is true. But I don't think it's worth not, taking this over a Subtle Strike, though. Blood Price here, or again, I don't know if we're white or blue or something else. We just take Blood Price and continue to stay open. Seagate Colossus, we could run, given that we're doing some party stuff. Again, Queen, this is not about reducing this to making this a 3-mana creature. But if you can shave 1 or 2 off, if you can shave 2 off of this and make this a 5-mana 7/5, that's not bad, right? So I really think that line is 3. Like, it seems like at 2, things are like, yeah. Like, if you get 2, you're like, yeah. And then at 3 or 4, it's like, whoa. And I think 2 is pretty doable. That's where I'm coming down. So let's take Blood Price and stay wide open here. We have a white card, we have a blue card, but we don't need to be white or blue. The only thing we know for sure is that we are definitely black. Yeah, I think 2 is a reasonable place. Seems like without a lot of work, you can end up with 2. Now we got this Mind Carver back, but we also have Expedition Skulker. It's a rogue. which we like. And we're going to control other rogues. So a 2/2 Death Toucher for 2 seems like the pick here over this Mind Carver. Maybe I'm not valuing the equipment enough, but I think I'd rather just have a nice curve slot here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of removal and a blood price to go find it. One presumes we will have bodies to put it on by the end, though, right, Math? Yeah, I don't hate your pick, Cat, who says I'm taking Blade for science there and justifying it with a potential blue evasion. Well, another Farsight Adept here, or we can just take a Warrior. That would give us more towards... although it's not like we have a bunch of wizards. We just have this wizard. I think we don't want a bunch of Bannerets, but we would take a bunch of Adepts, so I'm going to take this Adept here. Well, we'll take the probably on color. I mean, I don't know we're white yet, but sure, we'll take an Ox. I don't think we're anywhere near these, although we can Tuck Rubblefort for 2 and a red for an 0/3 Defender Reach. Creatures you control have haste. Weird one. How much I like this depends on how much 2-powered flyers are a problem in the format. If this is solving a very specific problem, there are a lot of good 2-power flyers, then I like it. If this is a 3-power format, 3-power flyer format, then this becomes kind of garbage. Like, what is it doing? So unless this is effectively blocking flyers, I don't like it. But we'll see if that's the case. So we got C8 Banneret and Practiced Tactics back. Probably means we are going to be black-white in this one. And Warrior is another type for Party. And Tactics is a payoff for Party. You only need, again, if you have 2, this is deal 4 damage to attacker or blocker, which is better than Gideon's Reproach type removal. I'm going to take the Tactics. Yeah, well, I guess we do have a lot of removal. I don't know. We'll probably get stuff I just don't want a bunch of those 1-drop cores anyway. We'll see. Maybe I'm supposed to take the creature there. Oh, we got an on-color rare. Let's see if it's any good for us. We've got a 1 white 2/2 core spirit at rare. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. So, enters as an Oblivion Ring for small stuff. Then, when Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. So it kind of like does the O-ring thing, but if they get it back, it's going to be the kind of the weakest version of that creature it could be, unless, of course, it was some high CMC thing that got much bigger on coming back in. I think we like that. That seems... It's a spirit, which is not in our party thing. I wouldn't mind a Stampede. Land spells are good. Would like to wheel this Cliffhaven Sellsword on the wheel. Got a human rogue here that we could get on the wheel. Priest, some clerics here. So we got some party stuff to wheel, but we're going to take this apparition. Yes, it's not an illusion that when you target it, it goes away. It's just a generic creature token. Vanilla. Rob points out old templating on this, so but does that really work well, Rob? Because they're going to get it anyway, right? I don't know what that does. What's the tricksy thing to do with this? I exile something. Yeah, but what do I do? How do I abuse those two separate triggers? What's the trick? What's the haha? All right, so we instant speed bounce. All right, so the leave the battlefield trigger resolves. And it doesn't see anything. It doesn't look like last known info or something. That works in terms of it seeing 0. That's what I'm not sure of. Acquisitions expert. 1 in a black, 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, reveal cards in hand equal to number of creatures in your party. Choose one of those cards and discard it. That is kind of like doing at 2 mana what you expect at 3 mana, but giving you a 1/2. I don't know. I don't know if I like that too much. Kitesail Cleric, on the other hand, is a 1 mana 1/1 flying. Yeah, I didn't like that one too much either. We got an Angel Cleric. Maybe I'll like this one. 4 and a white for a 3/4 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each creature in your party. We got a binding here. This looks like removal. Oh yeah, we're just going to take the binding, right? I mean, we got a lot of removal, but I'm willing to take more and look for maybe another copy of Blood Price. When you're in black and you notice that your removal count is on the rise, you really want to look out for card draw, because then it can be a winning strategy. The trouble with just heavy amounts of removal is that you can go, I remove your first 5 things, haha, and then your opponent's like, 6th thing kills you, and you're like, oh. Whereas if you have a lot of card draw, you're like, no, I kill your 6th thing too because I drew a lot of cards, right? So you want to win the attrition battle with removal via card draw as well. But we'll take the removal now. Maybe we don't end up playing the tactics, and yeah, I wish we had that creature. Apparition adds up CMCs of mutate stacks. Okay, that's good to know for constructed anyway. 2 mana opponent discard is amazing, isn't it? Not necessarily, no. That's the thing, it's not. I mean, how do you like that card off the top turn 12, for one thing? I mean, it's not amazing there, right? Expedition Healer, a bear. It's a cleric. Has lifelink. Yeah, this is going to be a lifelink bear. We want that, right? The Pokemon here, it looks pretty good, but we are pretty cleanly in white-black now. Blood Beckoning has been called. Let me read it. Sorcery, kicker 3. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's kicked, return 2. Yeah, I like that a lot. Blood Beckoning seems pretty good. I want to get the creature first, though. I'm going to try and wheel this. I think this healer is right on point for us. I think we have enough white going on that I want to stick with it rather than pivot to that blue card. Also, this is just a test draft, so I'm not going to overthink it either. Mainly just trying to learn about these new cards, discuss them together through the action of actually drafting. I can't see the crab anymore. That's all right. We're just going to feed the swarm when the crab shows up. What do we got? Pressure point. Very replaceable. Try not to play that if you can help it. Here we have a spell land. We talked about this. Oh, no, we didn't. This is a new one. Oh, no, we did. Yeah, this was good. This seems good, but not ours or anything. Got a vampire warrior here if we just wanted to add to our warrior count, but I'd rather get a Seagate banneret. But I think we can wheel this. This was one of the last 2 cards in the pack, in the first pack, so I bet we wheel a banneret. And we can go with something like another shepherd. Oh, we don't even have the first shepherd. Yeah, I think I like a shepherd here over anything else I'm seeing. What's this relic axe? 2 mana for an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it, and it is an extra bonus for warriors. So, whatever. I'm going to take the shepherd here. Another binding to add to our removal potential. And we are in booster 2 still. Still time. I'm gonna take more removal. This is just gonna be, this is removal.deck. Herschel just wants another Farsight Adept. We have 2 of them already. I'm not gonna prioritize that right now. I'm gonna really, what I want to prioritize is another blood price. We have so much removal. I would like another blood price. Hopefully YouTube friends can see these okay. Oh, that's nice. I didn't see we have a zoomer. I'll remember that. We can zoom now. Or has that always been? Maybe I just didn't know about that feature. But good to know for showing our friends on YouTube what's up with these. Heck, our friends live might be able to use these. Splashing seems to be a red-green thing. There are some dual lands, though, at the rare slot that could help with that. I haven't seen colorless splash support that I remember. Am I forgetting one? What I'm looking for is like skitters, you know, the colorless artifacts that fix colors. If there's artifacts that fix colors at common, then you're talking about a color fixing set. Prismite-like creature. Yeah, generally that's not how we want to, but you can accept it as a fallback plan. Blood Priest. Probably going to take the Blood Priest. We're pretty full up on clerics for this party, but we do need 2s. We need creatures, and it's a party-based creature, so I'm in for that. Dauntless Unity is on color as well. Here's a colorless card draw, but it's not colorless fixing. Very late Rabid Bite. But pretty easy Blood Priest for me. Card draw is basically fixing called. It's a bit of a stretch. Certainly improves your chances of finding the colors you want to draw cards, but I'm not going to call it fixing. Syntech, if Jinx is calling you out for a hot take, you might have a hot take on your hands. If I were to crash in a plane in the Andes, I would want Jinx with me just because I could stay warm just huddled around his takes. Smite the Monstrous, if we're, I'll assume best of, I mean, I wouldn't take it even best of 3, but obviously better in best of 3. When you can bring this in against appropriate matchups. Here we have a Dreadworm. I haven't picked up a Dreadworm yet, but also just feel like I should take another Blight Priest. We should just stay on our plan here. And it's another cheap card in the curve. Herschel says, imagine a card with, whenever you gain life, target oppo loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Well, we don't get the gain part, right? All right, we got a Resolute Strike. I'm glad this card showed up. I hadn't seen it before, but I think +2/+2 for 1 mana in white is somewhat of a bellwether card for formats. Is this good? I mean, the secondary clause, whatever. Mainly, I just think the spell, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn for 1 white mana, is somewhat of a telltale card for where a format is at. When this type of card is excellent, it means you've got an aggro format, because it means that that combat is happening, creatures are flying across the board, and creatures are bashing into each other a lot. Because if you're in a format where it's like, look, I got to tap out for a 3-drop, and then that 3-drop has to block. I don't have a choice. I need to tap out for my 3-drop on the draw, and I need to block their attack, because if I don't, I'm going to die. This format is so darn aggro, right? Then in those situations, Resolute Strike becomes amazing, because you're putting people in a spot where it's like, yeah, you're tapped out, you have no response, you can't beat a Resolute Strike, but you can't beat not blocking either, right? Like, you have to block, but you can't beat Resolute Strike. Those are the formats where this type of ability is amazing. But if you get into long, drawn-out board stalls, suddenly a Resolute Strike might do nothing at all. I'm going to take it, but I'm calling out how I think the nature of a format can change the valuation here. We're absolutely going to take a Sellsword. We do have some significant party payoffs here. And yeah, I like a Protector here, but it's a Cleric for 3 mana, and I would rather get a Warrior for 2 mana. Warrior for 2 mana seems like what we want to be doing with this deck right now. And making these tactics and Resolute Strikes good. We have another Warrior we're hoping to get on the wheel, a 1-drop Warrior. So really, white-black party is looking pretty aggro to me. And the format in general is looking pretty aggro. We've got red and green running around with landfall +2/+2. Landfall +2/+2 is the mechanic from original Triple Zendikar that made it the hyper aggro format that it is. It is, if you look at the curve of aggressiveness of formats, it's regarded as one of the most aggressive formats, if not the most aggressive format ever. And the fact that Landfall produced +2/+2 is a big reason that was the case. 1 mana cleric here. And really this supports the aggro. I mean, you take another shepherd, or even this sneak, it's a rogue. And we're not heavy on 4s, but we're not heavy on 1s either. I'm going to go with the cheaper card here, not being sure exactly what the best choice is. Yeah, a little underrepresented on rogues given the black, but we'll get there. Got plenty of clerics, could use another rogue. Not playing this Ox, we hope. This card doesn't look terrible to me, but I don't think it has a home in our deck given our depth of removal. That being said, we'll take a look at some different cards that we haven't checked out before. We've seen Looter Wizard. That seems fine. Seems fine. What's this cleric? We looked at this before. Oh yeah, we did this too. It was the freeze cleric, right? Yeah, cleric. If this is a bear-based format, the cleric could be fine. You know, if we're trying to get there on aggro bears, like Blood Priest hates a cleric of Chill Depths, and even something like Skulker, it's like, well, I guess Skulker is likely to have Death Touch. That's pretty good for us. But anyway, blocking bears here and freezing them seems fine. We're not going to take it, but I like that card for that deck. Here's the banneret that I was hoping for. We're not really doing this amulet thing, so let's take a banneret. It gets another warrior and really helps the aggro go wide or aggro weenie. I don't know if we're actually go wide. Go wide tends to imply more tokens than we're actually making, but we're definitely aggro weenie here with the way things are shaking out. I like this deck so far. Pretty good for, we have really 23 cards here. If I had to run this, I wouldn't be embarrassed. So having basically a deck after 2 packs seems fine. Well, we talked about whether or not this format can splash. Is this splashable? Yasharn, Implacable Earth. 4/4 for 4. When Yasharn enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest card and a basic plains card. Reveal them, put them in your hand. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents. Okay, this seems like a constructed plant of some kind that we are not super interested in. What do we got here? This is probably good. Land spell. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, but it can be a land. I'm going to reserve that. That seems pretty darn good. Paired Tactician. Whenever Paired Tactician and at least one other warrior attack, put a +1/+1 counter on. So we've seen this as needing to attack with 3 to get the counter. This one only takes 2, but it needs to be another warrior. I'm not looking to take this early, but if it wheeled, I wouldn't mind it. We have a Vanquish of the Weak. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Power 3 or less matters a lot to me over CMC, because there's a lot of creatures with CMC above 3 with power 3. So this can get a lot of more expensive creatures. However, we are also quite good on removal right now. So we could take the spell land just in terms of the fact that we have a lot of depth in our draft so far. I could also take this Blood Price I was saying with all of our removal, I want another blood price, but do I need to prioritize it here? Might even wheel it. There's this other adept as well. Kind of just want the shelter because of its flexibility. I think another adept is fine. We could just do that, but we have some decent 3s already. This warrior? What warrior are we talking about? That warrior is one of the 2 best non-rare 3-drops for warriors. Yeah, for warriors, right? I don't know if we're warrior enough, but yeah, if you're heavy warriors, that seems you're attacking as a 4/3, right? Anyway, anybody like Vanquish over Shelter? Maybe I'm over prioritizing the flexibility of the land spell. Certainly as a spell, it's much worse than anything else here, but as a land, it's just so flexible. I think I'll take it. I don't have one yet. Ooh, I got an on-color equipment at rare, and also a rogue at uncommon. Let's and a land rogue to be. All right, let's see what we got here. Maul of the Skyclaves, 2 and a white. When it enters, of course, you equip it because all the equipment in the set does. And equipped creature gets +2/+2 and flying and first strike. So, if this were an aura, you might even be able to talk me into it. You know? Right? Like, it's like, all right, I don't love auras, but this one gives flying and +2/+2 and first strike. Okay, I'll risk it. This one can re-equip. So, yeah, we're in. Let's take it. What's this rogue? Menace. 3/0 as long as opponent has 8 or more. Okay, that's all right too. But yeah, we're taking this. And this is Thwart the Grave is cool. More removal here. But the rare seems busto for us. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Kind of a take the pack moment there for us. I don't know. It depends on when you get it, right, Evan? I mean, if you have a 2-land opener and one of your lands is Sajiri Glacier, but you've got a nice aggro-looking start, you're going to keep and throw that down as a land, right? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Henry. Is that a new feature or is it something I didn't discover? I discovered it today, but I couldn't tell if it was a new thing or something I just hadn't discovered. Everybody, welcome Senryoku to our stream. Senryoku is the man behind the tech that we are using right now to do this. If you wanted to thank him, your button for that is right down here. Kind of you, Mama. Glad to have Senryoku as a sub on my channel. And glad to have access to this. Senryoku, this is like right now I'm intending to do this as my Tuesday before preview day thing, that we just use your tech to draft the new set together for a little bit and see what we can learn from it. So appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I don't know how to make it easier. I think you just let people discover it. I found it today, finally. I don't know. Getting people to discover things in software is a tough challenge. We can take another Blood Priest. I think I do just want removal here, though. Yeah, nobody in black-red, right, with this being here. I don't think we can quite splash it. Maybe we're supposed to. Are we supposed to take this and try and splash it? How, though? How are we splashing that? And is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. I think our deck is looking real good. And we should just focus in on the 2-color action that is really looking quite good. So I would like this, but I don't see the splashing. I'm not going to take it. What's going on here? I don't know what Song Mad Treachery is. Just kind of want to read it. 3 red for a sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. Okay, so just a simple steal a creature, but it's got the old can be a land, so that's its value. But I like a simple vanquish here. Really hoping we wheel the blood price now. I don't know if there's much we want more than blood prices. Look at this curve. We just got stacked at 2, stacked at 3. Couple of removal spells that are going to get cheaper anyway. I just want blood prices at 4. I don't know if there are other threatened effects or not. Often there's only one, so that could be it. But sometimes there's one at common and one at uncommon, and that was uncommon, right? Allied Assault is fine. I feel like all of our picks have kind of been the same range here. I want creatures more than... I mean, we have removal, so I don't think Assault... Even though we're kind of doing the party thing, I don't think we should focus on it. I think we should focus on filling out our creature slots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, we only have 4 2-drops, so I'm going to happily take another 2, actually. We only have 2 creatures we're happy to play on 2 right now. So I'm taking the rogue. Also, we're a little bit low on rogues. You know, it's not bad for us to get some extra rogues going on. We got lots of clerics, less so on the rogues. Blood Beckoning was one we liked but didn't wheel. We've got this healer, a cleric for 4. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, create a cat creature token. Another cleric gain. Well, that seems pretty good. I mean, a little clunky at 2 for a 2/3 for 4, but we do have some lifelink going on, and it's not like we have to pay mana. It's just if lifelink happens, you know, if life gain happens, not even lifelink. So I think we can take that. I mean, what else are we looking at? Prowling Felidar, fine, but not on tribe. Here's a generic warrior that we might also play, but not prioritize here. I'm going to take this cleric here. Yeah, we're really not doing the landfall thing at all in this deck. Not in a prioritize that card way, at least. Yeah, we are very low at 4, so picking up a 4 for the curve is reasonable. I bet these will be 4-like, though. We can kind of think of these as 4. It's a Celebrant. Another Cleric here, a 1/4 for 3. Not super impressive, but what does it do? When it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life. A bunch of life gain, a relevant creature type, but I don't know if it's good enough to actually make the cut in our deck. I'd rather probably just have another Vampire Cleric at 2, or even a Protector at 3. Yeah, I want either Blood Priest or Protector over this Celebrant. I want to look at what the War Leader does, though. Not that we're going to take it, I'm just curious. Okay, it's a Warrior Lord. 3-mana Warrior Lord, 3/3. That's nice, solid. I like that design. Designs like that please me. Historically, we think of our Lords as 2/2s, right? 2/2s that grant bonuses to everybody else, but this is nice in that it's a 3/3. It's a kind of a blowing away the expectations of size on a 3-mana creature type lord. Do we like 3-drop or 2-drop? Maybe just another 2. Yeah, I'll go with another 2. When all else fails, go cheaper. Another Kite Sail Cleric could add to the beats, the on-party beats. But here we have another binding. Do we have too much removal now? We have 2 bindings, 2 alliances, Vanquish the Weak, and 2 subtle strikes. Our removal is so good, I'm wondering if we should be focusing on creatures here. We even have practice tactics. Yeah. I mean, binding would absolutely be good enough to play 3 of if we were lower on other removal, but we got some stuff going on. We can even take a Gloom Hunter. It's not a party thing, but it's a life gain mechanism. But I think in that case, yeah, let's just go with this one. Kind of wish that were a warrior, but we'll take it. Binding pretty oppressive at white as well. Tough to play this on 3 reliably. So that's a factor. Well, utility knife. Not enough utility for my purposes. I think Outrider is fine here. Yeah, it's a party warrior, and it kind of does everything, and we don't have a lot of 4s. I think it's actually just great. Just a perfect little pickup. Yeah, you're right. Utility knife, not worthless, but I didn't love short sword, which you got to throw around for 1. Yes, this saves you 1 up front because it equips for free, but 3 to throw around a short sword is no. I don't like that. I think we'll draft 1 more after this. I think for the 3rd one, I'll set it up to be more of a split. Maybe I'll do 3 separate draft videos so that people can get right to the heart of the matter. Hey, there's that blood price that did in fact come around. I really wouldn't mind this adept here. Another tactician, right? We may have the warrior count, but really with our plethora of removal, as I've said, your removal just gets so much better when you can draw extra cards. So I like the adept, I like the tactician, but price is what I've been calling for, and what I said I wanted to try and wheel. And a second blood price is I think very good for this deck. Hey, we got this anyway. I mean, we're not really doing the Oppo Mill thing here, but I don't like the Cat Beast. We're not doing the landfall thing, and this is a spell land, so that's fine. Yeah, I don't know how exactly it wheeled, but we'll take it. We cut black pretty hard. Maybe we're successfully one of the few black drafters here. Great to pick up another warrior here at 2. This would be a... I'm not even going to bother with the build, but this would be a tough build. There's a lot... There's some cuts to make here. Oh, man, so sorry to hear that. Saying goodbye to our furry friends is the worst. Condolences to you and your family. Especially the young ones. I don't think this deck wants to splash. I mean, look at what we got here. We got Nahiri's Binding, and we're basically an aggro deck. I don't think this deck wants to splash. I think that would be a mistake. Math took Thwart. Yeah, Thwart the Grave looked awesome as well, so not surprised you landed there. I guess I'll take a Highborn Vampire. It's a warrior. I don't think it can make the cut in this deck, though. This deck is too stacked. Just doing picks, Krauser. I don't think turning this into a deck and turning this into a 40-card deck is the TV that people want, since we can't then go on and play it. I think what we really want is to look at more cards and draft them. So I'm going to do one more draft. Just replacing by bots since this draft is almost over. So yeah, I like this deck. A lot of cuts to make, but you can clearly basically focus on if I were making these cuts, play your party-based creatures, your removal, your card draw, and your bomb equipment. Everything else is like, cut it, right? So pretty easy to figure out the philosophy of building here, but I bet there's some hard cuts that await this one. But that's good. When you got hard cuts, it means you've drafted a lot of options. I like this deck a lot. I think it'd be fun to, or maybe I'll at least export it and save it. There's a world in which we take a look at these decks in action, but unlikely. I think we'll just move on to whatever we see next time. So I'm going to hop back here, though, and say thanks for hanging out for that one, YouTube. I'm going to do one more after this, so look for another draft. Bye.